Hi guys, it's me. Today we're taking a closer look at something that blends design, sound engineering, and home entertainment in a very different way. This is the DALI Katch One Soundbar in iron black. And at first glance, you might think, well, it's another soundbar. But the truth is, DALI has a very particular way of approaching audio. And this soundbar is not just about volume or power, it's about balance, detail, and the kind of listening experience that doesn't just fill your room, but enhances everything you're watching or listening to. Now, DALI as a company is known more for their high-end bookshelf and floor-standing speakers than soundbars. They're Danish, and their focus has always been on audiophile-grade sound and clean, modern packages. So the Katch One is really their way of saying, if you want the convenience of a soundbar but you don't want to compromise on audio quality, here's our take. Right away, the first thing you'll notice is the design. Iron black is their most understated color, and it looks incredibly sleek. The finish is matte, not glossy, so it doesn't scream for attention under your TV setup. Instead, it blends into your environment while still carrying that premium feel. There's this very subtle texture along the body, and when you get close, you'll see it's built with a certain Scandinavian minimalism in mind. It doesn't overdo anything, but everything is intentional. One of the cool parts of the design is how flexible it is. You can mount it directly on the wall, it even comes with mounts, or you can use the included feet if you'd rather have it sitting on a media console. A lot of soundbars these days only look good one way, but here you've got options. DALI designed this for people who care about both aesthetics and practicality. Now let's talk about sound, because this is where the Katch One really separates itself. Inside, you've got 10 speaker drivers total. 4 woofers, 4 passive radiators, and 2 dome tweeters. And what that essentially means is, you're getting a full, layered sound profile that covers bass, mids, and highs with actual detail instead of just throwing more volume at you. Most soundbars in this range will lean heavy on bass to give you that cinematic punch. And sure, the Katch One has bass, it's rich, it's deep, and the passive radiators really do their job, but what stood out to me is the clarity in the mids and highs. Vocals come through crystal clear, instruments in music don't get lost, and dialogue in movies doesn't drown under explosions or sound effects. For a single soundbar without a separate subwoofer, this is pretty impressive. Of course, if you want more bass, you can connect an external subwoofer. There's a dedicated sub-out port on the back. But honestly, unless you're building a really big home theater, the built-in system here will be more than enough for most setups. Connectivity is another area where the Katch One keeps things versatile. On the back, you'll find HDMI with ARC support, 2 optical inputs, an analog input, and Bluetooth for wireless streaming. That means you can hook it up to your TV, your game console, your streaming box, and even just use it as a wireless speaker for music from your phone. And the Bluetooth connection here isn't just basic, it's apps-enabled, so you're getting higher quality wireless audio than standard Bluetooth. One thing I really like is how intuitive the controls are. The buttons on the top are tactile and responsive, but honestly, you'll probably use the remote most of the time. The remote is slim, simple, and it just works. And if your TV supports HDMI ARC, you can control the volume with your regular TV remote too, which is always a win. In terms of sound modes, you've got 2 main ones, focus and wide. Focus is for when you want precise, centered sound, like for dialogue-heavy shows or podcasts. Wide expands the soundstage, making it feel more cinematic and immersive, perfect for movies and games. It's a small detail, but it makes a big difference when you're tailoring your experience depending on what you're doing. Let's talk about performance in real-world use. Watching movies, you definitely feel the impact. Explosions in action scenes carry weight, but you don't lose dialogue clarity. Streaming Netflix shows, you pick up on background sounds that cheaper bars usually flatten out. For gaming, the responsiveness is excellent, and because of the wide mode, you get a nice sense of spatial awareness even without a full surround system. For music, I was genuinely impressed. Most soundbars are decent for movies but just average for music. The DALI Katch One feels more like a proper stereo system. Bass lines are punchy, vocals sit nicely on top, and the tweeters handle high frequencies without harshness. I tested it with everything from acoustic tracks to EDM, and it adapted beautifully. Another thing worth